Welcome to the Pink Paradox. Get your cuppers ready. Welcome back to the Pink Paradox. My name is Maitreya Edwards. I'm the host of your podcast today. I hope you're going well. Today's episode I am just stoked for. It is Elise Marcianti, and really I could describe her in so many ways. An artist, a podcaster, just someone with a bloody grouse, adventurous spirit. But I think I might just keep this intro short, to be honest, and just let Elise speak for herself, because truly she is a one-of-one. I was very, very privileged to be able to interview her today. Just quickly off the top, Elise is running a marathon this Sunday coming up. I'll pop a link in the show notes, and I highly recommend that you follow suit and just throw a few bucks her way, because as she explains in this potty, it's going to an absolute ripper cause. So without further ado, get a cup of tea, settle in, and here we go. All right, welcome back to the Pink Paradox. Super pumped to be able to interview Elise Marcianti today. Elise, how you going? Where are you in the world as well?
I'm so good. I'm in Jindabyne, so just down the bottom from Perisher, in New South Wales.
And a little bit of snow territory, if I'm correct.
Yeah, bottom of the hill. So about 20 minutes from the mountain where I can go riding, on days off.
Mate, that is sick. That is amazing. I wanted to just begin this podcast by just getting you just to describe yourself a little bit in your own words, right? I want to hear about just, you can just tell me in your own words, at least, growing up, and just a bit about your journey to where you are before me. Like, just, however you want to describe, mate, we can go from there.
Yeah, cool. I guess I haven't really thought about it. But yeah, growing up, I guess, near you in Wanturna in Melbourne, and I went to school and then took a gap year and really started to do all the things that I wanted to do and didn't feel like I had the time to do. Like, especially through year 12, it's like, well, a priority, I guess, is studying rather than playing around with paints and like traveling. So I took the gap year to really just focus on finding my passions. And so throughout uni, I then went online. I'm studying psychology. Got 2 more weeks, so that's my degree done, which is exciting.
Right on.
But I started to incorporate those things that I was trying out during lockdown. So like slacklining and art and rollerblading and a bit of everything. I started doing that while being online. So started traveling around Tassie and was in my friend's van and started literally never stopped. So I did a snow season, went up the East Coast, and I've just been kind of traveling and studying on the move. And now I'm in, Jindabyne. I've been here for the last like 3 or 4 months, snowboarding, rock climbing, slacklining, just like a real cool kind of lifestyle at the moment.
Like, lifestyle, that's something you read out of a book, to be honest with you. It's incredible, and it's
I still pinch myself.
oh yeah, I like even just being able to hear about stuff like that, or just being relative in my postcode just makes me want to get out, and inspires me just to get out and have a crack. You know what I mean? And just be able to do some of those things. I'll admit to you, I'm not like super professional with my podcasting thing. You brushed and like you talked about yourself now, Elise, and that's grouse, right? I'm very, very happy for it. I wanted to like draw it back just a little bit further. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with kind of like folklore. Folklore is like, just a bit mysterious, right? I'm talking about like in Dromana, like where like I know you grew up, bit of a beach house around Dromana. I understand that it's like folklore around Dromana. There's like a ghost. There's like the ghost of maybe like an old pet or pets of yours. Is there any truth to that? Or maybe an old hermit crab. There's a ghost around or something. I don't know.
I lost my hermit crab in Dromana. I remember writing, I was a
Yeah.
kid, I wrote to Easter Bunny saying, be careful not to get bitten because I lost my hermit crab.
How'd your hermit crab get on the loose, mate? Like what happened
I
there?
walk them because I felt bad that they were in like a little cage. Oh, this is absolute throwback to childhood. I would have my hermit crabs in a little like carry pen. So it'd be like this little container with my little hermit crabs, and they'll come to Dromana for the weekend because the family used to go just like on weekends that we had off. And so like I used to walk them, and then I get really distracted and forget and be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, hermit crabs on the loose, and one. Yeah, no, I think I found it like 7 years later because
Really?
they've got like a hard shell. They don't really like disintegrate, so
Yeah,
it still
sure.
looked alive. It just didn't
Yeah,
move.
it was just on the loose, like
Yeah, and I hope the
just
Easter
running
Bunny
for his
didn't
life.
get bitten.
Yeah, I mean, we can only hope for the best for the poor old Easter Bunny. Now, also, like, I've listened to your podcast, Explore Your Core. We can talk a little bit more about that later. It is an awesome listen. I highly recommend it. But you
Oh,
talked a little bit
thanks.
about the beginning of COVID, and this is kind of in your adventurous spirit. You began sort of like couch surfing, right? If I'm not mistaken. How does that how do you have that thought process and not only like have that thought but follow through with it? Talk to me a little bit about, during that time for you.
Yeah, yeah. So, I guess it would have started. So this time last year, I did a snow season, at Mount Baw, and I then was doing my snowboard instructing course. So that was over at Hotham. So I'd never been to Hotham, and I was by myself. And I went over there, and lockdown got announced, and I had the choice to either go back to Baw, which wasn't too keen on, or try stay where I was. And that was definitely really risky. I was already at the pub, like I we were just celebrating, like we all just got qualified that night, and then lockdown got announced. So I was like, I was
Right.
already there, and the people I've been meeting while traveling are just unreal. And I feel like it's those kind of people that are really welcoming. Just like, hey, stay on my couch, crash at mine, like you're more than welcome. So I crashed in Staffacom for the 2 weeks during lockdown, just on like the floor of someone's like place. And it's
That's
just
right.
something that when I I don't know what it is about people who travel, but they're just so welcoming, and kind of allow that to happen. Like at the moment I've got people crashing at mine, they've come up from Hotham. It's just like um the people are really welcoming. And I think a lot of people who travel have experienced a lot and like know what it feels like to be on the road or not have somewhere to stay. So I find that like if I'm in Melbourne or near home, it's like, oh, like I've got plans tonight, or you don't really just offer your place for anyone anywhere. But when you're on the road, people like, dude, come over to mine. Like, people meet each other on the hill and just like crash at mine, stay around. It's like it's just a really nice gesture to offer your house. And it's like I've offered my place to people because other people have offered it to me. So it's just give and
Yeah.
take.
So it's a beautiful, beautiful culture you talk about,
Yeah.
and like you said, it's something unless you really go out explore, you're not really going to find that in Melbourne suburbia, are you? Like, what has that kind of taught you? You know what I mean? Are there lessons to be that you've learned from that sort of thing? You talked about maybe changing your spirit and your demeanor and being more open, but I don't know, you tell me. I haven't really done much of this, so I'd like to hear.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. I think it just really makes you give. Like what you give, you get back. Like I'm just
Yeah,
so
cool.
grateful for all the people that have offered their couch and their place. Like that's been so nice. And now I always feel like it's not my responsibility, but it's something that I now want to offer for others. Like I've grown up, at home. So there's obviously a family there. So I don't really just like, hey, come crash.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just like realizing that others might be doing it tough or they don't have anywhere, so it's like anywhere, shout someone to coffee, offer
Yeah.
someone your food, like my kitchen's yours, like come over and cook. Like I got so many friends in Jindy that are in vans. I'm like, come around, have a shower. Like a shower's literally sitting there. It's just like always thinking for others, thinking of others, and just giving where you can. And it's really nice because I feel like the more you give, the more you get back. And that can be tricky. Some people, I think, I'm not sure why it is, but they feel like they're just giving always, like giving, 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 not giving back. Maybe it's not you're not around the right environment and the right people, but I just find the more I give, the more I get back, and that's like a really beautiful flow to be in.
Yeah, yeah, just reciprocal. Hey, that's so great. It's just, yeah, I think once I can get out of Box Hill at some stage, that's something I'd love to get a bit more life experience in, Elise, and that's so sick to hear about. Talking about, we're out and about, kind of an adventurous spirit. Like just some of the tales that you've got in your catalog, in your back pocket, Elise, are just astounding, right? I'm talking about like some of your gnarly like bungee jumps across the journey. Or I was gonna say, now correct me if I'm wrong, right? I was gonna say I was in New Zealand, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm wrong. It was, yeah. Talk to me about that, and then maybe just like just because I'm being a bit spoiled, just any other like just gnarly adventures you've had across the journey, if anything springs to mind.
Yeah, I think I've just been lucky to come. I'm a bit of a scumbag. Like I don't have
Oh,
the gear or idea, but I've just got the friends, and so I
yeah.
think that's really brought me to some incredible adventures. So I did I think it was 143-meter bungee in New Zealand, which
Gee
was
whiz.
absolutely it was sick. But now it's just like I just can't stop.
Yeah.
I was eye lining yesterday, so that was like a 40-meter line, 10 meters above the ground. I can't stand up on it yet. I'm still learning, but
Yes.
it's terrifying. Like you fall and
Yeah.
you pretty much just like whip into your harness.
Oh God.
Been snow camping, so we hiked from Hawthorne Falls over like 4 nights just out in the snow, which was a really cool experience. That was like we full had transceivers and beacons, so like if we get lost, like it's a getting into backcountry is quite serious. It's not necessarily dangerous, but it's just serious that you've got to look after and like know that you're snow safe.
I
Um,
understand.
but yeah, just been I think really lucky to have the friends that are also into like climbing and slacklining and things.
Yeah, that's and like, but here's the thing, Elite, and like you talk about like a spirit, like adventurous spirit. I understand. Would you say 153 meters that bungee was?
143, something like that. Yeah.
Like, it's up there. It's way way more than I'd be considering. Like that honestly scares the thought of it scares me. But you've done this big jump, right? Normally that's just yep, tick it off, write in the memoirs.
I
Apparently
did
that's
it
not enough
twice.
for Elise. Yeah. You want to go back up and do it again. Is this what happened?
Yeah. Yeah. There was some other guy who he did end up doing 3 times in that
Yeah.
one spot that we were. It's so nice to have a good like relationship with fear because fear is something that can like really stop you or it can push you. And I think when you change your mindset around fear, it can just take you places like that's a bungee is a really good way to face it because you're standing on the edge and your brain's like, don't jump, you'll die. It's the same feeling as if I climbed on the roof right now. It's like, why would I jump? Like your
Sure.
brain knows it's stupid to jump. It will kill you. You'll get hurt. Like it's like a survival instinct. So it's really fun testing it and actually going against that.
Yeah.
Obviously in a safe environment where you're tied to a rope, but just being like, I can do it.
Yeah. Mate, I look, and here's where the podcast I say it shoots me in the foot now, but I'm sure I'll be like thankful later. I've been having a yarn and like bungee jumping is something that I thought, like, I think I'll never ever do. Like, just
You
scares,
will.
petrifies me.
Do
And
it.
now that I've had this conversation, Lise, I kind of have to have a bungee jump, and
Let me know
I'm
when
not,
you booked in. I want to hear about it.
I'm not thrilled about it right now. But I'm sure once I'm dangling upside down with my my daisy locks going every which way, I'm sure I'll be thanking you. We'll
Yeah.
see how we
Yeah.
go, mate. Um,
Scream and send. That's my
yeah,
motto.
scream and send. I'll take that to the bloody grave, mate. That'd be grouse. I understand now. Obviously, like heaps of good adventures, like you're saying. Are you still writing the book? Like, and where's the? Talk to me a little bit about like the writing process, or like just talk to me about the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of merged and changed a lot.
Sure.
It's yeah, something I think more so down the track. I think when another opportunity kind of opens up. At the moment, it's kind of turned more into a poetry book, of just like realizations, travels, just like ideas that have come to me. And at the moment, me and my friend April are kind of collaborating and might like draw up some illustrations and get that published down the track. But I think it kind of all ties into like explore your core, like doing things in mental health, having like the book. It's all, I think, a long kind of journey. So when it feels right, I think I'll publish it. But it's like 20, 30,000 words of just my
Wow.
thoughts over the years and poems. It's really therapeutic for me to have kind of like processed and understood kind of what's been going on. So it's been really therapeutic for me. And I hope that it can help others understand themselves too.
Yeah, and the process of writing, I can attest to it, is just so liberating. I started writing just like I bought myself a little journal, mainly just a couple little song lyrics and this and that. I reckon, I got like a little book here. It's probably, I think it's like 150 pages, and my first book took me, I reckon like 10 months. Like, yeah, it took me a considerable amount of time, an average amount of time, and then in the like year and a half that has followed, probably closer to 2 years now. Like I'm on like volume like 14 now. Once it becomes habitual, I look when I first heard like 20,000 words like you've written, or just how many words it takes to write a book, like your brain just explodes, right? But once it just starts to become habitual and a process that you enjoy doing, gosh, it's liberating, and gosh, it's free.
Yeah.
And just like you said with poetry, I like, yeah, trying to write some cool words like that. Um, but yeah, I think just being able to just get your own thoughts out, it's almost like you're telling somebody else, but you can put it in any artistic way that you'd like to. Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. I'd very, very keen to hear progress as the book gets closer. You mentioned, like, mental health awareness, Elise. I understand that you're running a marathon soon. Uh
Yeah, next week.
right on. Talk to me about why you're running a marathon. I mean, you're Elise, of course you're gonna go run a marathon. Like, that's just something that you do. But mate, talk to me. I'm keen. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I got into running kind of during lockdown when soccer stopped. Just started like running a bit. Running's always just been for fitness, like, oh, go for a run, probably should do the 5K. Like it's always been a bit of a chore, almost, or like the back burner of a sport, like to keep me fit. And then during after the snow season, I moved to Bright, where it's like mountain bike ride. It's like like the most amazing town I've ever been to. And there's heaps of like mountain bike riding tracks. So I started running them and just getting lost, like listen to podcasts, listen to music, and just getting lost on the trails there. So I really started to get some distance into me and doing like some half marathons. And then I was lucky enough to meet Sean Bell, who ran from Melbourne to Cairns. He's from Vermont. I'm not sure if you
wow.
know of him.
I'm gonna have to do my research. I reckon Sean Bell.
Yeah, yeah.
Sick.
So he's grown up in our area, which is really cool. And I tagged along for a little part of his run from Cairns to Melbourne when I was down in Dromana, and that got me so inspired. And he happens to have a program called First 42, and that's been like a goal of mine to be able to achieve, because I looked at the stats, only 1% of the population's done a marathon. So I was like, that's
Really?
would be amazing to be able to do. It'd be really cool to kind of like have all my training go into like being able to do something like that. And I thought there was nothing better as well to create the opportunity to talk about eating disorders, and especially Eating Disorders Families Australia. That has been an organization that my heart really goes out to, because I know that my family went through a lot, and I feel like the families don't get the awareness that they need, that they always kind of come second. It's the individual who's unwell, and then the family has all this like aftermath and pain that they're healing through, but it's about the child getting better. So
Yeah,
I really wanted that to be a conversation starter.
mate. It's beautiful. It's nothing else to be said there. And I'm gonna link. There's a page that is that where the money's heading to?
Yeah,
Yeah,
EDFA. Yeah.
sick. Yeah, I'll pop a little link down, send some bucks through. That'd be absolutely ace. And obviously, best of
Yeah.
luck for your
Makes a
freaking marathon.
huge
Like,
difference. Thank
oh
you.
mate, yeah, like that's just, it's so sick. Like I said, it's almost doesn't surprise me that you're doing something just gnarly like that, but it's still so sick. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've in my head, I'm like, maybe I can do like a little. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Maybe I'll get my running boots on. I've got a few holes in my running shoes at the minute, but or even just the Connies, and I'll see if maybe I can get a little half one going at some point. I don't know. I've got to stop making
Yeah, you
promises.
will. You will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You definitely. I actually just got myself a new pair of runners. I thought mine were fine. I'm very much like I just run something to the completely disintegrated. And yeah, I stayed at my friend's place and chucked my shoes off. She's like, "You're not seriously running in them, are you?" I was like, "What's wrong with them?" And then I looked at them like, "Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah.
okay. They're pretty bad."
But this is what I mean. Like, in terms of, I don't know, like, I don't want to bloody pump your tires up too much, at least. But you talk about, like, I don't know, I was thinking about it all week, just a one of one. This is how I think of you, at least. You can say whatever, right? A one of one. And when I say like inspirational, I don't mean like, there's a story and you overcome a story and this, that, adversity, this, that, because everyone's got that. Yeah, you've got a sick story as well. But it's just about how you just approach and attack life. Like, in the process of this podcast, in the however many minutes I've chatted to you, this is casual. This was not planned either. I've agreed to go bungee jumping. Did not think I'd do that. And I've also committed to a fucking half marathon. I don't know if this goes like any longer, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble. I reckon I'm going to be a bit distracted with 10 things at once,
I'd
but
say I'm
that's all
worried
right.
for you,
It's
but
cool.
there's good stuff. So
Yeah, well, it's great. And it's just a testament to how your life's done, how you approach and live life. Yeah, when I say like a one of one and inspiration, that's what it means to me. Where just having a chat to you makes me want to go out and do just a bunch of sick stuff as well, you know. So it's just sick. Um, there is a place where people can go and listen to this. We talked a little bit about this before, but Explore Your Core is your podcast. Was there a reason you got that one started, or like talk to me a little bit about your potty?
yeah, so it started in lockdown. And I just wanted to have a bit of a community. I actually started more of an artsy one. So I was actually just reaching out to other artists because I was feeling a little bit lost and like it's quite a lonely journey. You're creating something straight from the heart that's vulnerable. You're still like navigating, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's like you're kind of navigating and don't know how or where you're kind of going, but it's still an expression. So I'm like, this is quite daunting what I'm doing and the way I'm going. I could just stick to normal work, but I don't, I really want to pursue this as a creative passion. So if I start like building a bit of community, maybe I can start like spreading that kind of sense of community. And then I realized the conversation we're having goes so much beyond art and creativity. It's kind of almost just taps into like life, like mindset, people pursuing their passions in whatever field it is. And so it started really getting into talking with other people about how they go about like resilience, overcoming fears, mindset, because it's those kind of things that help you achieve what you want to achieve, like have a good mindset around like fear so you can do the things that you want to do and travel. And it's just been so incredible because I've had the opportunity to speak to so many amazing people that have then like affected how I live as well. And so it's
For
like,
sure.
yeah, kind of wanting to create a community to help people have the resilience to do what they want to do.
And in that vein, this is a question. It's look, answer however you want to answer. It's not like the easiest one to answer. I want to ask
So
about one of your favorite guests, or just one of the best lessons that you've learnt while on your podcast.
yeah, I've had such amazing conversations that I'm still grateful to this day. I had Jared Horvath. I somehow bumped into him at a cafe. I served him a coffee and I was like, "Oh, what are you working on?" He's like, "I'm working on a documentary about genius. It's going for Netflix." I'm like, "Okay." And
Okay.
we started chatting and he's,
Yeah, do you
he's
want to
on
chat
TED
about? Yeah.
Talks and he just somehow was willing to come on, which was really nice. Kit Wilson's been a massive inspiration in his
Great
film
pod.
Exposed. I watch that like every week, especially because he ski traversed on his bike around the mountains that are here as well. So I watch it, I'm just like, oh, I'm so inspired. Um there's been some amazing ones, but they all seem to come back to like the importance of balance, the importance of community, the importance of like your mindset, and that somehow seems to be the theme for all of them, which is really incredible. And like self-awareness, that's a key theme.
Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. I'm a pretty avid listener. I'm going to continue listening. And yeah, just to see where you go and just be able to hear you talk is a real privilege. And it's just another thing in your catalog that you tend to do. And yeah, again, amazing. I want to talk to you
Oh,
about another
thanks.
amazing thing that you do. And I don't know how I've overlooked this for this long because this is the first time I really saw some of your work and was just mind struck. I've got one of your pieces here. It's under a little bit of clutter, so I won't get it out. But it's a board with a bit of resin on it. Um, I'm just gonna have to link to your art page and maybe pop up a few pictures now for the vodcast people. But some of your artwork, Elise, is just mind blowing. How did that start, firstly, and how's that going now?
Yeah. So it started as art therapy and a way to kind of just express
Yeah,
throughout kind of those hard times with mental health. I really turned to art and was doing that at school and just really like doing it as a patient through art therapy. And that I found a real deep connection that helped me a lot more than talking did. And I guess it never stopped. It's kind of just like a real fun, plain, plain playful mindset I have around life, like just getting inspiration from colors and nature and just like interacting with the world and then making like sketchbooks. And it's just become a part of me. And it's been tricky because it's something that I have wanted to try, like maybe I can make a career out of it. Maybe that's the way I can go.
Bloody oath.
Daunting, hard, scary, don't really know what I'm doing. But I've just stuck with it. I'm like, it's something that I would not be okay with giving up. Like, even if it is hard, like I'm willing to give it a crack. I know just, the stability of 9 to 5 work or cafe work is a lot easier, but I'm really willing to give it a go. So even moving to the snow, I started working in a cafe and there was this white wall. And so every time I was making coffee, I was like looking at this white wall, and we have all these plants. It's an organic cafe. It's like the most beautiful cafe. And I just went up to my boss. I was like, is there any chance that, I could paint a mural? Like, we'll run it through, we'll do a mock up kind of thing. Just like, let me know. And she's like, yeah, like, how much? We'll do it. So like the last couple of weeks, I've been just painting this 3 or 4 meter wall
Wow.
with a design that I came up with, which is just like still pinching myself. Like, it's a dream to just like rock off at night after the cafe's closed, get the ladder out, put some music on and paint. So,
Mm.
yeah, lots of little projects with art going at the moment. I'm like painting some skateboard decks, and it's been
Sick.
incredible to see it kind of start to come together now after so many years of questioning whether I could do it or not really knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, right. And well, I'm not very, I don't really have the vocabulary to talk about art in maybe the same way you can talk about art or
Don't really need
anyone.
it.
It really is, yeah, it's more just having a look and seeing for yourself. But yeah, please send me some pictures of this mural once it gets close to completion, because I just know how much that would mean to you, and getting to walk into that place afterwards and being able to like see how the wall works with the room and knowing that's a piece of you in there is just, I mean, it's priceless, right? It's just amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty special. It's a
Yeah.
really special feeling to be able to leave a part of you.
Yeah, I love that, mate. I prefaced before we chucked on, like this may be the hardest question of the podcast, right? And I have run it past you, but there is a question that must be answered here, Elise, and that's, look, mate, in the first song, or sorry, in the soundtrack to your life, rather, stuff that up. The soundtrack to your life, Elise, what's the first song that you're putting down?
Bloom paper kites. That is like
Yeah.
anytime it goes on, I'm like about to cry. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that would be
mate.
the
Why
song.
why is that a tune that you resonate with?
I think it was just a song that was played a lot when I was starting to have a massive pivot in my life between like just like those mental health struggles and being like there's so much more to life, like really tapping into that creative side of me and like recovery and like travel. There's it's just that song that comes on. It's like everything's gonna be okay and everything's going the right direction and like there is so much more to life. It's just that key, I think, time in my life that I discovered that song and it just
Yeah,
yeah.
mate. Bloody oath. That I'm gonna try something now, and it's not gonna be good as balloon paper cuts. But I might try singing you a tune if that's all right with you, Elise. Let's just bloody give it a crack, mate. Um,
Go for it.
I do this in the primary schools. Like, it's not all that chop. It's just a bit of fun, right? But what's your favorite color, Elise?
Blue.
Good choice. Me too. Uh, your favorite animal?
Uh, hmm, that's a good question. Favorite animal? Let's go to the hermit crab.
Yeah, go rest in peace, the hermit crab. I haven't even mentioned your beautiful dog Kara yet either, which I definitely should have, because that's like the world's cutest dog. Um,
Yeah.
goes to the hermit crab, blue. What's your favorite food, my friend?
Oh, smash shallow.
Yeah, on some toast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Turkish bread.
talking my
Had
language. Bloody oath.
that for
Uh,
brekkie.
yeah. All right. Well, oh, anything else? Just favorite anything?
Nothing comes to mind.
Nothing comes to mind. All right. Let's see how we go. I realize now that I've been talking for a long time. Haven't really been thinking of anything I could sing about, but let's just give it a crack. That's what it's all about, right? Blue goes to the hermit crab. Smashed Avo on toast. Nothing. All right. Let's give it a crack. This much Elise knows true. She's never seen a hermit crab that's blue. The ghosts of an old town, Elise smiling, there's never a frown. For breakfast. I had smashed avo on toast.
Hey.
The one she likes the most. Sky was blue, and I asked. She said there was nothing new. I forgot that last bit.
Hey. That's so good.
Thank you. Here all podcast here for the 2 minutes that Zoom's going to allow me.
Oh, true.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get balloon paper cuts playing about now, and I just want to say, Elise, that it's been such a pleasure. I love you so much, and thank you for coming on the Pink Paradox.
Thank you so much for having me.
Grouse.
In the morning when I wake and the sun is coming through, oh, you fill my lungs with sweetness and you fill my head with you. Shall I write it in a letter? Shall I try to get it down? Oh, you fill my head with pieces of a song I can't get out. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I be close to you? Ooh, ooh. Can I take you to a moment where the fields are painted gold and the trees are filled with memories of the feelings never told? When the evening pulls the sun down and the day is almost through, oh, the whole world is sleeping, but my world is you. Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you? Can I be close to you?